Aquarius, welcome to your August 2020 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. Well, I don't have to shuffle these much more because I've been shuffling them quite a bit. So I'll pick the ones. Oops, so the two came out. I'll put that as the heart of the matter. And we'll see what else I get here. Why do I always seem to get these relationship readings? Just seems like I'm going to pick an additional card. Okay. So, all right. It's always interesting when you get two cards that come out at the same time. If you're interested in learning the tarot, there's a free, I don't know if you'd call it a course, but it's a PDF file. And I remember I looked it up when I was, interested in doing that. And I remember them having an exercise where you take two cards and you have to read them together. So even though I didn't take the whole course, I'm going to have this opportunity to do this right now. So we've got two cards. The first is, oh, sorry about this tight angle. It's just the way, I'm going to be getting a new tripod soon, and it's real tight. I can't move it. It'll tip over. The Five of Cups, which is a card of mourning the loss of something. And this is the focus of this month. And the Three of Pentacles, which is a card of creating some kind of foundation that has a material nature. It's a card of sometimes having a baby, and there's another card that could be for having a baby, the Ace of Cups, being pregnant, okay. And just like co-workers that you're working on a project together. Money is good, things like that. But these two cards combined, very interesting. There could be something connected to inheritance, I feel, even though the Three of Pentacles isn't directly connected to that. With the Five of Cups, I think of some kind of situation that creates a bit of sadness. This is a card of grief. So this does not mean this is going to happen. This is something that you're already dealing with as kind of like a theme in August. What I can think of is something involving wanting a baby, having had a miscarriage, and working through that. There can be something with three parties involved. When you get the number 3, it can be like a lover's triangle. In the past position, I have here the Ace of Swords. So something becomes known to you in a very, it's like the seas parting, and you can see the clearness of the situation finally. So, that may be, if you have been in denial for some reason, Aquarius, this can bring you into a certain realization of what is really going on. So basically what I would say is if you find yourself in a three-party situation, the Five of Cups can be understanding that you might feel like if you're the person that is waiting for somebody to change their mind and leave a person they're having an affair with, it may be something that is not happening the way that you want it to, and that creates that sense of grief. I sometimes point out that Aquarius is one of those signs maybe out of all the signs in the zodiac, where being possessive is not something that is not a value that you practice at all. You don't feel that anybody has ownership over somebody else. But those are ideas, and reality can be a little bit messier. And again, we're not just our sun signs. So, you know, you could have the sun in Aquarius, you could have the moon in Scorpio, or the moon in Taurus, and it's a no-go. You could have inner planets in Pisces, and you're very self-sacrificing, like Venus in Pisces, but you still suffer if somebody cheats. So thank goodness that we have these many different influences, because it makes astrology a lot more sophisticated than it's cracked up to be, or that people, promote it as. Some people promote it as, just nonsense and there's nothing to it. But if you really dig deep, you can find the things that really resonate. Now, oh my gosh, did you hear that? Does anybody else have ghosts in their kitchen? And this isn't the first place where I've had, it seems like the ghosts like to hang out there, and I have like these unexpected, I was going to say bumps in the night, but actually this is broad daylight. So, oh well, I'm going to let that go until I finish this reading, because I'm 6 minutes into it. The higher message is the Ace of Cups. So if you have suffered a miscarriage, you can get pregnant again. If you are sad about a current love, that is not to say it's like there's more fish in the sea than that. That's not the only person out there for you. And the point being that the Ace of Cups would be like a soulmate. So maybe you have met people or a current person who you have certain things in common with, but they're not the one, and this is proof of that. I know that sounds kind of like cut and dried, but I really do believe that we should look at things in that way and say, well, if that person is doing certain things, then that probably shows that they are not the right person for us if they are involved with somebody else. And I wouldn't say that across the board. There might be some extenuating circumstances that make that not 100% true, but just to give you comfort if that is the case. Another thing is you may have been disappointed by coworkers, and the Ace of Swords is finding out what they really have been up to. And I feel like this may also have something to do with the shutdown, that as people go back into the workplace and they've had several months off from their normal 9 to 5 existence, that going back into that situation, even though the person may feel like, oh, thank God I get to, try to regain some sense of normalcy, things have changed. There's a saying, you can't enter the same river twice. So you cannot go back to a job and expect it to be normal, because everybody has changed in that time frame. And you may see things in a whole new light, and that might be where the Ace of Swords comes in, and you realize that it's just not going to fly with those people, because what they represent is not what you're looking for. Aquarius represents the group, and Aquarians are very egalitarian, so they don't like this idea of one person being a leader or telling other people what to do. They really are democratic to the core. So that kind of, if you have some kind of power plays or what have you, that's not going to sit well with you, even if before you were, tolerating it more so. What crosses you is the Four of Wands. This is the card of the happy home. So going back to that other scenario of some kind of, infidelity, even if it's not on your part, is that it's not just affecting you, it's affecting the whole family, it's affecting your ability to feel that your home is a safe space. That actually isn't the word I was looking for. Oh my gosh. Kind of shelter from the storm. And it can feel like, you're going home and it's a whole new set of obstacles to navigate. So that can make it even more apparent that you need to deal with your life in a more, I don't know how I put it. I don't want to say detached way, because it's not so much about being detached, although with the Five of Cups, you may be feeling these strong emotions that connect with the idea of grief for some reason. And maybe you did leave a partner already, even though it was hard to do so, and you're fighting about property. I don't know. I don't know what the Four of Wands means to you, but I just put it out there like that because I think that's true. Now, Wands can be fire signs. Your opposite sign is Leo, so that's somebody that you may find yourself with. The other fire signs are Aries and Sagittarius. Fire, the element of fire in general is very compatible with water, but it's not necessarily going to be so 100% of the time for obvious reasons. We're all individuals. What's coming in? You know what? I wasn't even paying attention to this. The Empress. This is another card of motherhood or pregnancy, impending motherhood. So there's your other pregnancy card. But this is also a card of creativity, as can be the Ace of Cups. The number 3 for the Three of Pentacles is connected to abundance and creativity. And maybe it's making money from your artistic endeavors, for sure. So that's just kind of affirming that. The Empress is connected to Taurus and to Libra through the planet Venus, which rules this card or is connected to this card, and that should, make total sense. And perhaps the Ace of Swords is a new beginning with a Libra individual. But we have a couple of cards here that are very kind of, and also the Empress is about prosperity. So the Three of Pentacles and this Empress card are good cards for money in August. One card I drew first for the outcome is the Eight of Swords, and this is a card of oppression. So I did pick an additional card because some of these cards, it's not simply because they have a more negative connotation, but also because it doesn't really feel like they resolve anything. They just kind of open up another can of worms. So this card of oppression, to me, simply means that a person, an Aquarius, finds it hard to break away from something. And it's not so much that they are forced to be there, but their thoughts, which are connected to the swords, are giving them the impression that they are stuck. And it's negative self-talk first and foremost that keeps you in that state where you feel like you can't move, that you can't do anything, but it's not necessarily true. And no, I would say it isn't true, but you have to change your thoughts. So we have an additional card, the Four of Pentacles. This is kind of sound money management as well as financial security that accompany this card. So there's got to be some kind of message that you're telling yourself about money. saying, I can't do a certain thing because of money. So whether it's leaving a marriage or long-term committed relationship, whether it is, even if you're suffering emotionally because of that relationship, or whether it's leaving a job, you might have this sense that you can't do it because you're afraid of what the consequences will be. And I would say that the Four of Pentacles is affirming that you have the resources, especially if you are taking charge of your finances. I don't think of Aquarius as a real spendthrift sign. I think the only exception to that would be if you have maybe the moon in Taurus, Libra, the two Venusian ruled signs, Leo, maybe all the fire signs, or have those rising, where you would tend to like the finer things in life, or in some cases engage in retail therapy. I don't think Aquarius is necessarily like that. So I think that the Four of Pentacles is saying, you're very good at managing your finances. And the Three of Pentacles is actually very good for promising or for suggesting that you have this at your disposal. But in any case, this is what I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a personal reading, the link is below. All the best to you. Thanks. Bye.